Everything I feel like I learned about how to sing and all the basic things came from her. Even the way I sit when I sing. And I go choirs all over the place, and I'm the only one sitting on the edge of my chair straight up, you know. And I wear my high heels when I sing, and they all think I'm crazy, but I can't not do it.
Guide me, O thou great Jehovah, pilgrim through this barren land. I am weak, but thou almighty, hold me with thy powerful hand. Bread of heaven, feed me till I want no more. Feed me till I want no more. Welcome to Still Singing. This is Casey Armstrong, and through the years, you know, I've had the opportunity to sing with a lot of different ensembles, a lot of different churches, a lot of different professional groups. I'm having a chat with my good friend Paige Sisk. Paige is a friend from back home here in Mount Holly, and she let me stop by, put her on the spot, and put her on this podcast. But I'm looking forward to catching up with her. I'm looking forward to her sharing her musical journey, and I know you're going to enjoy to meet Paige here this afternoon. Thanks. See you in a bit. When I tread the verge of Jordan, bid my anxious fear subside. Death of death and hell's destruction, land me safe on Canaan's side. Songs of praises, I will ever give to thee. I will ever give to thee. Paige, we did it.
We did it.
You let me stop by and bend your ear for a few minutes on my brand new podcast called Still Singing. So, first of all, thank you. This is the first time I've been to your house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because everything's always at the church.
True.
You know.
Yeah. Well, welcome. Anytime.
Steve even turned down a football game for us.
He did. God bless him.
So catch me up on your family. I see pictures of babies and kids all over the place. Yeah. Tell me what's going on like now.
Well, now Steve and I have two grown children. Connor and his wife Allie live literally right down the road.
Nice.
They're two
Perfect.
girls, Ava and Kaylee. Ava just turned 9 and Kaylee will be 5 at the end of December. So they keep us busy. And our daughter Sydney lives about a mile down the road in the other direction. And she comes over a good bit and brings her dog, Rummy. So I have two grand dogs, Rummy and Loki, and we just have a big old time with everybody. So
I love it.
Love having everybody this close by.
Yes, that is good. I know we're lucky to have family all pretty close right now, immediate family that is, and so I get it because, you know, when I was here, both of your kids were tiny.
Yeah.
And then we, from a distance, thanks to Facebook, we can see people grow up and get married and stuff.
No, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know you're full-time, what do they call you, grandmother?
Jamma.
Jamma.
I'm Jamma.
Yes.
Yeah, it's different.
So you're definitely full-time Jamma.
Yes.
You're jamming with the grandkids.
Yep.
What else are you into?
Well, during the day, I pick up Kaylee from preschool about 12 o'clock. So between the time I get up and then I'm running or making art or doing errands or something at church. It just depends on the day. Every day is different. Always have too many irons in the fire, I guess, going on. And then so we spend the afternoon together. She does her little TV shows and lunch and all that. And then Steve usually comes home for lunch and we get to see her.
I love that.
And then we are off to dance with her or church on Wednesdays. And Tuesday nights I sing in Charlotte with the Charlotte Master Chorale with my dear friend Kenny Potter.
Yes.
And lots of people that I just adore. It's just a great group to be in. Wednesday night is church, which is also a great group of people to hang out with and sing with. Some things are a little different than they used to be at church, but it's all wonderful still, and we just love it. So,
you guys are adapting adapting to all the new ways of worship as far as whether it's from like the live stream to multimedia. I think you guys are adapting. And I love the new sanctuary. You know, we all hated to see that place burn when it burned.
Devastating.
But my goodness, it's crazy how beautiful it is. And it still feels the same.
Right. We did some upgrades and some modernization of whatever we could. Insurance was a bigger to deal with.
I know that was a long process for you
God
guys.
bless Reeves McGlowan, because I don't know how we would have ever done half of it without him and Kendall Cameron. And Taylor Vansell was music minister at the time, and he was instrumental in getting a lot of acoustical things. And so I was on the design team, so we got to help pick out finishes, and they worked with us well enough that it turned out great. We're pleased with it.
So you mentioned your artwork. We're surrounded by some really cool art.
Thank you.
Do you still have a store, or are you just doing online?
No, I had a studio when I did my faux finishing. I had a studio in downtown Mount Hollywood, you call it. It was a great space. I loved it. But when I found out I was going to be a Jamma, I decided my body was tired from climbing scaffolding and doing ceiling work, and my neck hurt, my back hurt, and I thought, okay, I'll just kind of scale that back and stay home and keep babies. And so that's what I've done.
But you do some booth stuff, right?
I do some shows. Yeah, I don't have an actual shop per se. I have everything out of my house right now. So it's literally everywhere. It's in every room, taking over. I wish I could afford to do a studio again, but maybe down the road that will happen again. We'll see.
I understand. My sound gear, merch, whatever it is that I'm toting around, it ends up stacked up everywhere. And I know Kara's like, oh, you know.
But it's a need. You know, I can't not make things. It's just something in me that needs to do those kind of things. So whether I ever sell any of it or not is a whole nother subject. But I have to keep making. I just can't stop.
No, I understand. It's art. It's what it is. It's a labor of love, and occasionally it can pay for itself and then some.
Yeah.
But I was also thinking about this. I know you grew up in Stanley. Like, when did you find music? You know, was it through church? Was it school? Was your
First
parents
off was church. My dad can sing and played some instruments growing up, and my mom can carry a tune whether she says she can or not. But so, you know, there's some musical genes, I guess, throughout the family. But Mary Darsh Chapman was our little children's choir leader at church, and the first memory I have of singing was there. First United Methodist. Right there on Main Street. It's no longer there. They've moved locations now. But then that's where Steve and I got married, and Connor was actually christened there. And then we moved to Mount Holly and became Baptist. So,
so church encouraged you to sing, and then I guess you sang at Stanley Middle?
I did. It was Stanley Junior High.
Junior High, that's right. I was junior high too.
Yes, Catherine Painter was at Stanley Junior High and at East Gaston.
Oh, I didn't realize she was doing both.
Did both schools. And my class, when we left Stanley and went to East Gaston, she went full-time at East Gaston, so she was no longer at Stanley anymore. So we were the first class that had her from 7th grade through 12th grade.
That's a big difference when you're already familiar with the director.
And then the first time when I did chorus, it was like that career rotation thing. You did, you know, so many weeks in chorus and so many weeks in home ec or whatever all the stuff was. And then she developed chorus after that, and a whole bunch of us, you know, stuck with her.
Yeah, I love seeing your posts. You guys are good about keeping in touch with each other. So Miss Painter, man, she left big shoes to fill from there, because even though not being a member of their chorus, there were a handful of my buddies that were in that, and she was
She was legit. Yeah, I mean, we were kind of like a college choir by the time we were seniors, and she produced. I mean, I don't know how in the world she did it. She just had the gift, and everything I've always told people, everything I feel like I learned about how to sing and all the basic things came from her. Even the way I sit when I sing. And I go choirs all over the place, and I'm the only one sitting on the edge of my chair straight up, you know, and I wear my high heels when I sing, and they all think I'm crazy, but I can't not do it. It's ingrained in me now.
But I remember going to see the concerts, you know, and seeing that excellence that she required. You know, I could say the same thing about the Reeses. I mean, there was no slouching with them either. But Miss Painter, a lot of my friends were able to sing for her, and always big into the all-state regional. I don't know.
We did honors chorus, Mars Hill, all county, all those kind of things, and all the auditioned things. And we didn't really go out of state to do stuff. Nobody really did that. Back then, I think some schools would take a big trip somewhere, but we didn't have the finances to do that kind of thing. But we always did really well. Our whole county did really. We always led led the state and how many people got into
We're in the choir,
all the things. And I think it's very different now how they go about judging it and how many people can go from each school. But I remember back in the day, we were in big competition with two of the other high schools for sure. We wanted to see who was going to get the most people in, you know?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it was always close.
Yeah, it's good. Our youngest, Calvin, is the only one that's doing choir right now. He switched in middle school from band to choir.
Yeah.
It was such a great move for him. It was a little victory that he was overdue for.
Yeah.
And the cool part is the director of their middle school is married to the director at the high school.
Oh,
so
nice.
Mrs. Brown had him for middle school, and Mr. Brown was waiting on him, open arms,
That's great.
waiting on another guy that's willing to come in the choir. So
Is he tenor or bass?
he's a bass baritone, babe. Yeah. He appreciates the low notes too.
Yeah.
He's doing good. We're so excited for him. Like I said, he needed something to hang his hat on, and he found it through choirs. Okay, so we met probably, I was in transition from high school to college.
I think I got to know you more when you were in college, when you were at Western. And I don't really know exactly how, because you didn't sing until you went off to school, right?
Well, I did the adult choir
but
at
you didn't
church.
do chorus in high school.
No.
You were band, right?
Right, I was all band. That was Mark Stamper years.
Yeah.
If I was in town, I would jump in choir. So Mark was there, and then shortly thereafter, Kenny came in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
The high school job and the...
I didn't catch back up with Kenny until Mark had him come sing solos at the church. I think we were doing Messiah. And he had Kenny come sing the bass solos. And I don't know where you were, why he didn't have you come to But Kenny came, and I'm like, I know him. And this was maybe, I think, right when he was beginning to be at East Gaston. And ended up, he used to swim with my brother. With the Gaston Gators. And so I was telling my brother, and he was like, oh, golly, Kenny Potter. Wow.
What?
I hadn't heard that name in a while. But so they've reconnected as well. It's neat to be able to have them catch up with each other too.
Yeah, it is. So for me, Mark really took the youth choir to a different level.
Right.
He was the one that encouraged me to sing in the adult choir as a high school student, which wasn't difficult for me. And it wasn't like he twisted my arm, but it was an honor to do that. And then when Kenny came in at First Baptist, I did come back and do a few things, Messiah maybe, and maybe something else. So we crossed paths there. I know Western came back one time, did a concert. I know I didn't have the military groups come there.
I went to hear you at Ashbrook, I think. The singing sergeant.
That was, for me, definitely a highlight.
Yeah.
To come back home.
Oh, yeah.
Because by that point, I was only 3 years in, I think.
Yeah.
There were so many friends and family that had never seen or heard. There wasn't as much social media. Well, there wasn't any social media.
Right. I think your mom was great in keeping us connected.
Okay, good.
Telling me what you had going on and where I could get CDs and hear you and things. And then Brethren came to the church.
Yes, and recorded.
Yes.
We did a concert too, right? Didn't we? That's right. We came to First Baptist with Brethren to finish up our Christmas recording that we had started in Annandale, Virginia. And while we were down, we did a concert. You guys hosted this, if you will. And I know I brought Promised Land down one time, King's Cadence, and of course, Poet Voices recently. Everybody's been. Lottie-dottie, everybody,
KC fan club,
But also what was cool is I remember you got to come sing at our wedding too.
You were gracious enough to ask me to be in that. It was amazing, that choir. I've told people this before too. To get to sing in your wedding and Kenny Potter's wedding was like some of the best music I've ever gotten to do with just these directors and composers. It was amazing. It was so much fun.
It was a total highlight. A lot of our friends and groomsmen and bridesmaids and guests were there, and they all still remember and talk about that.
Y'all sang happy birthday to me.
Yes, that's right. We did. We did some quartet. There was one that flopped. I can't remember. Me and Glenn and Ryan and Ray, we tried to do some little a cappella thing, and it was just like, it flopped. But not happy birthday.
Right.
Right. I mean,
that was pretty generic, so.
Hey, even Babe Ruth struck out every once in a while.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, so that's awesome. That's all good kind of catch up. But and then let's talk about the Charlotte Master Chorale.
Yeah.
Speaking of social media, you guys are hanging in there with that. Whoever's in charge of that.
They've got
every once in a while I see you, I'm like, there's Paige.
She comes into rehearsal and has her phone on, and she's going around, and everybody's kind of like, it's so intimidating. But yeah, she's doing a great job with recording all the stuff and splicing all that together and making some really good posts.
Yeah, it's good to see. It's good to hear. You guys have a great rehearsal hall there.
We practice in the fellowship area of Covenant Presbyterian where Kenny was, and it's a great space to be able to
it seems
use.
to be.
Phil is our accompanist, and he can play anything. He blows my mind. And just to have his expertise, went to Florida State as well, and that's Kenny, and he was at St. Olaf.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he's got...
With Anton.
Yeah.
Did he play for Anton? Or
No, I know he was in the choir. I mean, as good as he is, he can do anything. He directs and sings and plays and multi-talented. Lots of people
I know.
in there are multi-talented.
Well, it's good to see you there. I know good things are happening at church too, picking back up and rebuilding all that stuff. Or, that's a great outlet.
I thought about it years ago, but this was before Kenny was even associated with the group. I think he sang with oratorio at one point, but I went to hear Wingate sing at First ARP in Gastonia to catch up with Kenny, and he said, I'm doing this choir now in Charlotte. And he said, you should come audition. And I was like, I haven't auditioned for anything in a long time. I mean, a very long time.
Yeah.
And he said, you should come audition. So I did. I waited 1 year, and it was the same time Ava was getting ready to be born. I had my first rehearsal after this hideous audition. I'm horrible at auditions. Sight reading is awful. I just can't do it. I can do it when I'm in a group of people,
in
but
context,
one-on-one like
I
that,
know,
it's just so intimidating.
It's so exposed.
I've poured my soul out to them. Please don't make me do this again.
Don't make me do this.
I went to my first rehearsal and sat down, and I had a text from Connor. He said, well, we're at the hospital. And so I went up to Kenny and I said, I might have to leave because, might be having a grandbaby tonight. And Connor texted back and said, false alarm.
Oh, goodness.
I said, oh, goodness. First rehearsal, and I'm out the
Begging
door.
off.
And so I keep up with how many years I've been in it to how old she is. So this is
Absolutely.
the start of my 9th year.
Wow,
in
that's
Charlotte.
awesome.
It's crazy. I'm getting to sing with some of these conductors from all over the world. And now we have a new person that's over the symphony.
Okay.
Kwame is his name, and he's fabulous. And so we haven't done anything with him yet this year, but we did something last year with him before they made the decision to hire him. I pinch myself all the time. And when I'm in there on the stage at Blumenthal or at night theater, thinking, I can't believe I'm standing here doing this. I get cold chills, and
it's great.
just kind of mind-boggling to me.
I was talking to Adeline about this. She's not majoring in music, but she's playing flute, piccolo in the bands. She's playing as much as her schedule allows her to, right? I told her, I was like, I just encourage you to play while you're here if it works out in your schedule, because beyond here, it's going to be really rare and exceptional to find that level of musicality to be a part of. It exists.
Yes.
You found it.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing. What you have is rare. What you're doing is rare. And it's great. I love seeing and hearing about it. I heard you got to sing with my buddy Rob Harrelson the other day.
Yes, he was wonderful.
Recent, right?
We did Bach.
All I know is that's
was
his
Bach.
bag. That's his thing.
Yes, he was so good. It was wonderful. And I don't know what I saw. I think his bio said something about singing sergeants. And so I sent it to you, and then I'm like, do you know this guy? And we're like, oh, yeah, I know him. So when he was at rehearsal, I walked up and I said, we have a mutual friend, Casey Armstrong. He said, I think everybody knows Casey Armstrong. I said, well, you're probably right.
Well, I'm not going to claim too much credit, but I think I gave him Kenny's information when he retired. I think he's back in Bowling Springs.
He is, because he's at Gardner Webb.
Yes.
Well, another small world kind of thing, my nephew, JJ, that's doing opera now, was at Appalachian. And this guy was singing at App at the same time as JJ. He recognized him, and JJ came to the concert, and they got to catch up. So
that's cool. Yeah, so Rob retired probably of 2017 or 18 from the Singing Sergeants. We sang together for 5 years in the Singing Sergeants, which is where I met him. But he's also been a part of Brethren. We've sung at the same church. We've just crossed paths for all these years. So when he said he was going to retire back down to North Carolina, he was like, I need some connections. And I gave him probably about 6 or 8 names within like a 2 or 3 hour window. Yeah. And I was like, all these people, you need to meet them.
There you go.
And Kenny was one of those. So
well, it worked out well. He was great.
It did. He can have all those Bach gigs he wants.
Yeah. It's not easy stuff.
Kenny, I may or may not be too lazy for Bach. I'm just saying.
We're doing Rachmaninoff in the spring.
Oh, but for the Vespers, I'm not too lazy.
There you go.
Okay, so after high school, what took you to App? Was it a family thing, or was it like...
It was Steve.
Steve took you to App.
I knew I did not want to major in music. I never learned to play any instrument, piano especially. I just thought, I can't major in music if I can't play an instrument.
Right.
I was terrible at sight reading, theory, all that mess. I just wanted to sing. You know? So I made my daddy tell Miss Painter, because I was terrified that I was going to disappoint her. She had spent so much time and effort into making me be whatever it was she knew I could do in high school. So he told her for me, and she was not a happy camper, but she eventually got over it. It took years for her to kind of come down to the fact that, she
was grooming you for that, right?
Yeah. So I went to App, and I think my first semester I did like App Chorale, which is like a community choir type thing, and they were doing Messiah, so it was just kind of,
For the folks, App is Appalachian State.
Yes, sorry.
That's okay. Neither one of us said it. So App choir.
And it just wasn't enough. I needed to do something a little more next level
heavier.
and structured, I guess. So I went to audition, and Dr. Bob Jones was new to App at that point. Miss Painter took over running North Carolina Honors Chorus.
Okay.
He was like the coordinator for all of North Carolina Honors Chorus. And then when he left, she took over that. But then he was at App. So I went and filled out all my little paperwork to do my audition, and I had my little, "Oh Thou That Tellest" solo ready to go. And he looked at everything, and he said, "Oh, you sang with Catherine Painter." And I said, "Yes, sir." And he said, "Just come on in." So I didn't even have to audition. I was so excited because I didn't have to do any of that horrible stuff in front of him. So I sang in University Singers and did Chamber Singers, which was another smaller ensemble. And we did Elizabethan type madrigal feast type thing at the Boy Hill Center, which was really cool to get to do that. We got to be on that old TV show back then that Bob Lacey
Fred
did.
Kirby? No, I'm just kidding.
No, not that old. My daddy was actually on that.
I'll just throw it out there.
Called PM Magazine or something like that. I can't remember what it was called. But they came up and did like a little feature story on us. I have it on a VHS cassette tape. I don't even know if there's anywhere to play it anymore. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. And then after I graduated, we moved back to Stanley for about a year till we found our house. We got married while I was in school.
Oh, okay.
Between my sophomore and junior year. Because Steve had already graduated and had a job with the Big 8 accounting firm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
he stayed and worked and got his experience with Deloitte.
Okay.
And loved that job. That office was great. That was probably one of his most favorite places to work. But the cold I couldn't do. So December graduation, the truck was packed and we moved home. After that, we were kind of in between churches. So we ended up at First Baptist. And then Kenny came along and started the community choir. So we did that for many years. I did that, and then I did the Gaston Choral Society.
Okay.
Mary McFarland was the director over there for that, and my dad actually went and sang too. So Mama would come over and watch the kids during tax season, and Daddy and I would take off and go sing.
Choir practice,
so that was fun. And then he sang at church for a little while with us too. And then I don't know what happened and when and why, but that was just kind of like, if I'm going to ever do this, I need to do it now, because I was getting older, and I just thought I'm just not as brave about it anymore. You question yourself a lot more. I think, does it still sound okay? Am I getting all wobbly?
Yeah.
So I made the jump and decided if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it now. So now I'm over in Charlotte. So that's how that all kind of
that connects those dots. That's good. Okay. So first of all, from Miss Painter to present, what would be your top 3 highlights?
Oh gosh,
is that hard to do, or
everyone is to me at this point? I look back at the stuff we did in high school, and I mean, we did Messiah, we did the solos ourselves.
That's exceptional.
And a lot of high schools probably go that route. There's been lots of funny moments with some rehearsals and some performances. Lights went out one time during a solo, and we just kept singing, and everything came back on, and we were all fine, and everybody was in the same spot, with the orchestra. So different things like that kind of stick out. But as far as performances go, almost everything I've done with the Master Chorale has been new to me.
Okay.
And we've repeated a few things in there, but I'm learning so much stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, because even in church choir, occasionally add a new anthem. Right. But usually there's a rotation, and it's familiar. Doesn't mean you don't love it. Doesn't mean that you love it any less, but it's a different approach when you show up, I'm sure, for the season or whatever window of rehearsals that the Charlotte Master Chorale has, and then you're looking at your stack of music like, this is all new.
Yeah, and I've never sung that much German before until this group. I've done a lot of Latin. But all these other foreign languages, that's what this art piece is about. Every piece on there is in a different language that I have sung within the last few years. So I just shrunk them down real tiny. Swahili, Russian, German, Latin. I mean, there's all kinds on there, and English, of course.
German just rolls right off the tongue.
Once you learn a few of the vowel placements and stuff, but then there's like all these different dialects that Kenny's like, we got to say it this way, and I'm like, say that again, because it's not easy, but it challenges me, and I need that at this point. I think to keep your brain learning things, and that's the best way for me to do it, is stuff like that. We've done a few really big concerts at church that are special, and when Kenny was there, we did a spirituals concert, and I love good spirituals, so we we decorated and had all this effect going on.
Yeah, you're like me. What do you like to sing? And I'm like, well, whatever I'm singing at the time. Occasionally I do take a job or a gig because it's my livelihood, and I do music that I may not love.
Oh, yeah.
And it may not even grow on me.
Yeah.
But if I'm surrounded by good friends and if it's worth my while, it doesn't make any less of the music being great or good. It's just about my preference. Even if at first my knee jerk is like, ew, I don't like this. I like the other arrangement better of this text. You know what I mean? Whatever the first arrangement is of this certain text, you fall in love with, and it's hard to break through that. Dan Forrest has broken me on a lot of things that I used to like.
They're not easy pieces either.
I know, but he's an example of you've got these arrangements that you've fallen in love with, and then he comes through with a new one, and it's like, okay, I love that one more now.
Yeah.
So that happens a lot,
Yeah.
but occasionally I just kind of stomach through things.
Yeah.
Okay, so those
We
are all
just did
good.
the Duruflé Requiem a few weeks ago in Charlotte, and it was so different. It was just absolutely stunning. The instrumental part, rarely done with as much orchestra as we had in Charlotte, they said.
Okay.
I didn't know much about the history of it, but that's one thing I appreciate about Kenny especially, is that he tells you the history of whatever you're singing, and he explains the way it's written sometimes and why they use this particular wording or phrasing, and it means so much more.
Yeah, it helps.
When you know the behind the scenes, and not everybody in the audience is going to know that. But
you
if
don't.
it translates to us that way and we can express it through the music, then that hopefully translates to them as well.
Right. So I want to see if I can trigger any other highlights for you by saying, one of the things that I share with folks, even this past weekend when I was doing some solo concerts, the military chorus has really kind of made me aware of this, because before that I was already in a sacred ensemble, whether it be church. The Junaluska Singers was a Christian group.
Right.
So I'm going to compare the Army Chorus, which is a secular group, to the Charlotte Master Chorale, which is also a secular group.
Right.
My guess is 60%-ish of our rep is sacred, because it's based on scripture. It may be Latin, maybe Russian, maybe German, maybe gospel, maybe spirituals, maybe contemporary, maybe just traditional hymns. There's so much sacred rep in this stuff. So to just tell people, I'm like, the Army wasn't my church.
Right.
The generals weren't my pastors, but we were able to share so much Jesus through song.
Exactly.
I'm not going to edit this, but I use this as a wrap up. This good friend of Kara's that went to school with her, his name's Tim Farley, and he was an Army chaplain. He's since retired. But we crossed paths at an event about 10-year mark. And he was asking, he was like, well, how's the job going? And again, I was about 10 years in. I was like, well, the traffic is like really bad. And, and I'm whining to him, but he had been deployed by that time like 2 or 3 times.
Oh, wow.
In the thick of it. And he reminded me gently with a couple slaps. No, but he said, you need to remember that you guys, through music, are sharing more Jesus than I get to as an Army chaplain.
Wow.
He says, I get 1 hour a week to preach my sermon, the gospel that I know and love. The rest of the week, I'm a counselor, because the Army is everything.
Yeah.
All right? He says, I've heard your CDs. So much of your guys' music is sacred music. And you guys close out almost every concert with the battle hymn. And the beauty of the lilies, Christ was born across the sea with the glory in his bosom that transfigures you and me. He says, so keep that in mind, Casey.
Yeah.
And it changed my approach, because I've always had this tug to the ministry. I didn't know what that was, conducting a church choir, quartet, whatever.
Right.
I've always had that pull. He says, but you're where you're supposed to be, and don't forget what I just shared with you. And I didn't. So all that to say, can you think of a time, solo, church, chorale, school, where you're like, this is making a difference?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That connection.
I got to sing with the youth choir at church a few years ago. I would
Yeah.
go on tour with them. And at that point, the youth choir was a little bit smaller than when you guys were there. And so we had a few adults, chaperones, that would sing as well. And,
I've done that.
So getting to see that, it was fun. I enjoyed it. Whether the kids around me enjoyed it or not, I don't know. I don't know that mine even necessarily did. But I think seeing it at nursing homes, and when you're singing for homeless people, and I knew I was going to try not to cry.
Oh, no, I get it. I get it.
That's what makes a difference.
It reaches, right?
Yeah.
I did the same thing with Calvin on the last 2 youth choirs. I was recruited to be a chaperone.
Right.
You're a chaperone, and then all of a sudden you're in the choir.
Yes, which was fine. I didn't mind it at all.
But I agree with you. Paige, we visited a place. They were all individuals that could not do anything.
Yeah.
They couldn't speak, nothing.
Right.
And these kids, they're singing the fun stuff and got these people moving in their chairs. And then afterwards, afterwards, these kids just would go up and just lend a hand, and they were reading stories to the younger ones.
That's what I enjoyed too, is watching the youth actually see that connection and seeing how they realized what they were doing.
Because it's just outside their box, you know, unless you have a family member that's in need. Yeah,
it's powerful stuff.
It is. I say it every concert. Music heals, it inspires, encourages, as long as we get out of the way.
Right. And the difference to me in being in a choir, I love being in a choir because I know everybody at church and I know most everybody's background. But like in Charlotte, I don't know everybody yet still. I know a lot more than I did, and they're amazing people. And I don't know where they've come from and their story, but we get in there and you all sing and you cooperate together. And it comes out to be this beautiful thing that people that don't even know each other can get together and do. And that's a rare gift.
Yeah, I agree.
Glad I get to do it.
Well, I'm glad you're getting to do it too.
As the good Lord is willing to let me continue, I'm going to do it.
Listen, thank you for letting me stop by and chat with you. And before we leave, look at what I've got right here. I've got a present for you. This is my merch.
Oh, cute.
It's a t-shirt. It says, just keep singing.
Just keep singing.
And there is an exchange policy. I do have more. If you want a different color or size, we can figure that out.
Yeah.
But thank you for being a part of this podcast, and I'm excited for everybody to learn more about Paige Sisk.
I hope I didn't ramble too much. So.
No. You can't out-ramble the rambler. No, this was all good. So thank you so much.
You're quite welcome. Thank you.
Love you, sweetie. Thank you.
I'm Paige Sisk, and I'm still singing.
O thou that tellest good tidings to Zion, get thee up into the high mountain. O thou that tellest good tidings to Zion, O